Previously on the Midnight Channel. Now, what would a princess be without her knight panicked? Okay, yeah, this thing is relatively neutered while it's panicked. And down.
Great work.
But we're gonna press on, and on, and on, as Melia would say. I'm pretty sure that quotes Melia. Oh, this guy. Oh yes, 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 yes.
Beat the stuffing out of it.
Stat bonuses, let's say, okay, magic and luck. Oh, this thing.
Are you okay, Sensei?
They hit pretty hard. We're probably more than set for the next boss fight now. You're gonna be a shadow, aren't you? I knew this
I can't keep going. Can we call it a day?
No, because we have to do the boss on this day too. I can actually get all 3 debuffs onto you. And now... I was gonna cut in at the entrance of the boss, but then I decided that I'm gonna go and get that thing for Yosuke now. So if you talk to Yosuke at the entrance... twice, I think. Oh, no, we can't actually do that yet. Okay, that makes sense. Thankfully, they let you start all the way at the 8th floor, and as you can see, I've switched over to casual winter clothes for everyone. But now's not the time to go over everyone's comments on that. So, I was alluding to this last time, but in terms of personas, you really need to fuse something specifically for this fight. I personally like Oberon because he's resistant to fire. You can get resist physical on him pretty easily, and he learns Red Wall. But mainly for Medea, the real challenge in this fight is that you don't have a dedicated healer yet, so the protagonist kind of has to fill that role. I got Medea for him via a lot of Emperor cards. Senri is also an option, who I believe also learns Medea and nulls fire, but I personally find Senri's stats to be a bit lower than Oberon's for my liking. And in terms of other personas, I have Eligor here, who might be able to do some physical damage. No fire resistance is a little annoying though, but he has all of the debuffs. And that's, like, those are really the only 2 personas that I can see myself using here. And for the party, Yosuke and Chie are both level 15. Honestly, I actually think 15's a little high for this fight, but being a little high is fine, because... oh, that's a weird thing to take out of context. But anyway, this fight is brutal. It's the infamous noob killer of this game. And let me just quickly check my equipment. I've got the Disguise Mask. Resistance to Silence is nice here, which is what the Disguise Mask does. You'll also be dealing with Fear. If you have anything that can resist that, that's also good, and anything that cures fear is also nice to have. You've got the Talisman. I mean, Yosuke does not actually need the Volt Suppressor. I don't think you encounter any electric attacks in this fight. Guess he can go for the Crow Charm. There are fire-resistant armors that you can find in gold chests, but I wasn't lucky enough to get any. So, as you can see, my SP is a lot higher than it was at the end of the last part. That's because I farmed 1s and 2s of cups in the first floor. But I'm still going to go ahead and heal a little bit of SP for this. Also have a few Snuff Souls from earlier. Might actually not be a terrible idea to use a couple of those. And then maybe a few Soul Drops. Chie... okay, so on the one hand, Chie does have this boss's weakness, but on the other hand, it doesn't really do a lot of damage, and it's really only situationally useful a lot of the time. I don't think I'll raise Chie's SP, but what I will do is I will heal with Yosuke a little bit, because you definitely want to be topped up on health for this. Okay, everyone's topped off on health. Our SP looks good. I am leading with Oberon for the fire resistance. I'm extremely nervous about this, and I really should be. Let's do this. Let's rescue Yukiko. This gives a whole new meaning to the phrase, saving someone from himself. Because that's literally what we're doing right now. I like how she's positioned right where those wings are on the flag.
Yukiko!
I knew it. There's 2 of her.
This is getting out of hand.
Oh? Ooh, what's this? 3 princes are here to see me. My. Are you the surprise guests who came in late? Oh, I wish I'd gotten a better look at you.
You appeared directly before us earlier.
My, it's getting crowded here. Why don't you and I go somewhere else? A land far, far away where no one knows me. If you're my prince, you'd take me there, won't you? Come on, pretty please?
Oh, is this scoring a hot stud?
3 princes? Wait, does that include me too?
Duh. The third one's gotta be me.
I seriously doubt that.
Great delivery by Yuri Lowenthal there.
Chie. Yes, she's my prince. She always leads the way. Chie's a strong prince.
And thus, thousands of fanfictions were
Or
born.
at least she was.
Was?
When it comes down to it, Chie's just not good enough. She can't take me away from here. She can't save me.
Yukiko! Stop.
Historic inn? Manager training? I'm sick of all these things chaining me down. I never asked to be born here. Everything's decided for me, from how I live to where I die. I'm so sick of it. To hell with it all.
That's not true.
I just want to go somewhere far away. Anywhere but here. Someone please take me away. I can't leave here on my own. I'm completely useless.
Stop. Please stop.
I have no hope if I stay, and no courage to leave. So I sit on my ass, hoping that someday my prince will come. I don't care where we go. Anywhere's fine. As long as it's not here, I don't give a damn. Historical tradition, pride of the town, what a bunch of bullshit.
How dare you?
That's how I really feel. Isn't that right, me?
No.
Stop! Don't say it!
No! You're not me!
This feels wonderful. It's building. More and more. If this keeps up, I'll...
Yukiko!
We have to stop it. That girl's in danger.
We know!
It's all right, Yukiko. Just hang in there. We'll save you!
She's not gonna make this easy, though.
I am a shadow, the true self. Now, my prince, why don't we dance and make merry together?
Hang in there, Yukiko! I'm right here for you!
Oh, really? Then I'll make sure to give you plenty to deal with.
Let's write the ending of this wretched fairy tale.
This one's tough. Hang in there.
Teddy is not kidding. So, there's good news and bad news for those who played the PS2 version. The good news, Shadow Yukiko is weak to ice now, and she no longer has Mind Charge. The bad news, she has more than double the HP she used to. So, this fight didn't really get that much easier in Golden. I like this change because it makes Chie a lot more useful, as she really should be. This is really her fight. Okay, we've got a lot to deal with, and the main threat early on is if you get unlucky and she uses Agi randomly on Chie. She has 2 fire attacks, but she has a tail for one of them. So that's not as dangerous because Chie can just guard. But, Agi is the real one that you want to watch out for. Okay, what does Yosuke do? Unfortunately, Yosuke's kind of, a little bit pressed for stuff to do in this fight. I generally find that he tends to just be the item bot. He can do a little bit of damage, and I guess Chie can show this off. Since it's only a single target, it's not worth it using Mabufu.
Alright, guys, pile on! Ready?
Okay, I can just do this once just to show how much damage this does, but usually I find hitting her while she's down with the one more does a bit more than the all-out attack. That's actually not bad, though. Okay, Agi on him, that's fine. Yeah, she can randomly decide to Agi Chie, like I said, and that's pretty bad. Okay, I've debuffed your defense, but I could actually switch over to Eligor and debuff either your attack or your accuracy. I think I'll rather debuff your attack. This is pretty much your main showing that buffs and debuffs are extremely helpful, and Yosuke does need his SP to use Dia later, so I think for now I'm going to have you Sonic Punch, aka Sonic's side smash. Okay, I'm actually doing quite a bit of damage. I'm honestly not that used to doing this much damage to her. I'm really worried that I'm over level for this, because I really don't want to make this fight look easy.
Let's go! You sure?
Okay, let's just quickly show what happens if you hit her again while she's down. Chie's physical skills tend to... yeah, about the same amount of
Are you
damage.
trying to make me mad?
Chie's physical skills tend to burn through her own HP pretty quickly, which is kind of a problem.
That's how my prince should be.
And there goes her weakness. So, no more of that. But really, hitting her with her weakness is not, the most useful thing in the world. I'm actually just going to switch back to Oberon for now and, use Arm Chopper. For some reason, Arm Chopper's description doesn't tell you that it hits twice. But Arm Chopper, I find, is one of the best sources of damage in this fight. I am going to Dia you right now because I really just want to make sure my HP is as high as possible. This fight can very easily turn against you if you're not careful. And I think Chie will just basic attack. Okay, that's the tell that she's about to use Burn to Ashes. So I'm fine with you because he is resistant to that. I might actually guard with Yosuke though, and Chie definitely needs to guard for this one, obviously, otherwise she'll get a one more, and you really don't want her getting one mores. Yep, there's Burn to Ashes, her signature move. Oh, it missed you anyway. Okay then, let's put Rakunda back up. Defense down, that's good. Yosuke should either be going for more damage or, actually... okay, we're soon approaching a threshold where getting damage on her is not really going to be that big a deal. We'll see why when that happens. And she's still definitely white-walled, so I'm not going to use Skullcracker yet because that's 20 HP. Attack's back, Ice Resistance is back, which is good. Oh, double fangs. And that's why Resist Physical on the protagonist is really helpful. Imagine how much that would have done if I didn't resist that. That was already pretty solid damage. Gonna go back to Eligor. Debuffs do burn through your SP pretty quickly, but they definitely help. So get this back up on you. I guess while I'm in a bit of a loop, I can mention that the Priestess Arcana reversed can symbolize not listening to your own inner voice, or a disconnect from your inner voice, withdrawal, secrets, and silence. And all of those actually relate to Yukiko quite well. Oh, her ice weakness is back.
You sure? I mean, that's fine,
Okay, let's see what happens if I ice her twice. Not that
We're
bad.
not done yet. Show me this strength of yours. Come, my prince.
Things are gonna be heating up, though.
You little.
That's kind of weird that she used that while she was on the ground. But there we go, summoning. The Charming Prince has appeared.
This one's tough. Hang in there.
So in the original, the Charming Prince was weak to ice, but in this version he's weak to electricity. That's why I wanted to keep some of my ball lightnings. And I actually think Oberon has Zeo. I could debuff the Prince's defense, but I think I'd rather just go for straight up Zio. So unlike Shadow Yukiko, the Prince actually is vulnerable to Dizzy. It burns through your SP a little bit, but making him dizzy is actually a very useful strategy in this fight, because otherwise, I guess I haven't really fully shown his stats yet.
Don't give up! It's weak to electricity!
Oh, that's interesting, he's Emperor Arcana, which makes perfect sense, but yeah, he will heal Shadow Yukiko, and he will also use White Wall on her to cover her weakness, and he can also inflict silence and fear on you, and you don't want to be inflicted with fear, especially by Terror Voice, which has a really high success rate. Because Shadow Yukiko has an attack called Shivering Rondo that deals massive almighty damage. Yes, it's almighty, so attack mirrors won't, or physical mirrors in this game, physical mirrors won't help you. Heavy almighty damage to anyone inflicted with fear. It is usually a one-hit kill on hard mode, so that's obviously a problem. I'm kind of wondering if I should Tarukaja. She hasn't actually been white-walled yet. I don't think so, at least. No, she hasn't, so I can go for another all-out attack. I'm going to go for all-out attacks here, because you want to rack up damage on the Prince. Not only is he an annoying enemy to have to deal with... Oh, that gets rid of his Dizzy. That's maybe not a good idea. And she just white-walled herself. That's kind of interesting. The Prince thinks he can help Yukiko, but really, she has all the tools she needs to help herself. I wonder if that says something. So yeah, I guess I can talk about, I find this fight really fascinating in terms of symbolism. So Shadow Yukiko has the obvious illusions of a bird in a cage metaphor, and that reflects both how she sees herself and how the people at school see her as this kind of beautiful, untouchable princess that needs rescuing. But the really interesting thing is that the cage is open. She's outside the cage right now, and if you look really closely, you'll notice that the lock is actually broken. This symbolizes that Yukiko was never trapped. She only thought she was. And, only acted like she was. She keeps saying that she wants to run away from her problems, that she needs someone to save her. But really, Yukiko herself is the only one with the power to... Oh, great. Yeah, I knew she was aiming at Chie from the direction she was facing there. Oh, well, she wasted her one more, though, because now I can just guard with her. Okay, you're not defense debuffed yet? I still like to keep her defense debuffed at all times, because that makes the fight go faster, and a faster fight is a much, much better fight. I'm totally okay with Chie being silenced right now, though, because, yeah, she's white-walled anyway. So yeah, what I was saying, Yukiko herself is really the only one with the power to save herself. She only thinks that she's trapped. If only she could just realize and she could muster the courage. She just said it, she doesn't have the courage to run away. Oh no, I didn't forget to guard with Chie.
Chie-chan can't use her persona!
Okay, so at this point, I think now is a very, very, very good time. I will knock the Prince down first. And then I'm gonna... No, I think I actually have to use a, my Umbrita Soda now. Because otherwise, Yosuke has a random chance of skipping his turn because he's afraid, and I really don't want him to skip his turn because we're actually hurting a little bit. I could go for Dizzy on the Prince right now. It's not guaranteed. He resists wind, by the way. It's not guaranteed, but it's definitely possible. But on the other hand, I also am a little low on health on a lot of people, and you don't want to be low on health in this fight. But I also would like to get some more damage on the Prince, because we're quickly approaching a certain threshold with him. Nope, not Dizzy. And her wall hasn't worn off, I don't think. Do I heal with Chie, or do I go for a... Actually... This won't give her one more, but it will Dizzy you. Yeah, there we go, your wall's gone. Oh, nice dodge there. But yeah, that's what I feel the real key to this fight is. It's that, I don't think it's a coincidence that the two status ailments that you have to deal with in this battle are silence and fear, which are the two things that are holding Yukiko herself back. It's just a really, I love the symbolism in this battle, but Anyway, I think I'm gonna Dia with Yosuke right now, and I think... No, Yosuke himself needs it more. Here I was concerned that I wouldn't really have much of a chance to talk about the symbolism because this fight is kind of a pain, but
Here's our chance. Let's go.
I don't want to speak too soon, but I'm doing pretty well. Okay, I would normally want to go for the all-out attack here, but I want to leave the Prince in play because something's about to happen.
I don't understand. You won't lift a finger for me. My prince. My dear prince. Why? Why won't he come?
No one's coming. Now's your chance to attack.
Once the Prince's health gets low enough, he runs away and he never comes back. And this is another aspect of... Okay, so right here I'm going more into headcanon territory. Also, it's very important to debuff her attack now because in the later portions of the fight, she can start using Burn to Ashes with no tell. So obviously you want to have her attack down for that part. But, okay, like I said, this is entirely headcanon. I don't think this is, like, completely 100% canon, but this is my theory. I personally think the Charming Prince represents the boys at school who attempt the Amagi challenge. They act like they care for Yukiko, but really they only care about themselves. They just want the fame of dating her and, just that allure of her being like that, you know, that princess to be rescued. And so they'll act like they care for her, like the Charming Prince heals her when, she's taken damage and will, like, help her on a few occasions. But when it comes down to it, and when she's really in danger, and when she really needs support, they run.
Looks like I had the wrong idea. You're no princes. Die, you worthless commoners!
Okay, that right there is your cue to be afraid, because once she says that, she can use Burn to Ashes without a tell. Oh, great, that's Terra Voice. Yeah, that's pretty much a guaranteed hit. You know, right now... your defense is not down, but honestly that doesn't matter because this is still going to do the same amount of damage. Where is it? Where are my ice cubes? Yeah, this is why I saved the ice cubes. Yosuke won't be able to participate in the all-out attack though because he's inflicted with fear, so let's not do that today. Let's, I would kind of like to put Raku Unda back up, but the issue is I want to equip Oberon at all times from now on because, like I said, Burn to Ashes without a tell is extremely painful. Although there's a pretty decent chance that if I don't cure Yosuke's fear, he's going to... Or I could Medea, which I kind of would like to do. Okay, bear with me for a second. I'm gonna Medea, which is actually not that great of a heal, but it's better than nothing. Oh, Yosuke actually got a chance to move. That's not what I expected. But he can... Do I have anything here that cures my own fear? Okay, I only have one of these, but I may as well use this. I don't want to risk Yosuke dying to Shivering Rondo. She's already down, so Bufu won't really do anything. I guess I will Skullcracker.
I don't understand. You won't lift a finger for me.
It is just also interesting because she keeps talking like she needs someone else to save her from her own situation. But really, that couldn't be further from the truth. She just needs to have faith in herself and just realize that she alone decides the path that she takes in life, and she really is not as trapped as she thinks she is. Because, like, as you can see, the cage, it's open. Oh, yeah. Chie has an annoying tendency to miss in this fight, I find. I'm going... Do I Ice Cube you now, or... No, I think I'll actually do more damage if I, leave that for later. You can Red Wall Chie to get rid of her fire weakness, but I personally find it's not all that, necessary here. Oh, crap, she had the wall back up. I knew that would happen at least once, and Yosuke's probably dead.
Yosuke's hurt! Someone do something!
Okay, wall is still up, so I can't get one more off of her. I kinda have to use a revival bead. It's great that characters, like, still, like, the turn order is not changed at all by people getting KO'd and revived.
Here goes.
Which can sometimes, help the fight not going crazily against you just because of one mistake. I don't like this because, there's, like, a very high chance that she's gonna use Burn to Ashes now, and, just in case she does, I'm gonna have Chie guard. Okay, that's... Yeah, I knew it! I knew it! I knew she'd use Burn to Ashes!
Yosuke's hurt! Someone do something!
Oh, great, Yosuke's down again. Except, now that her resistance is gone, I can go back to using an Ice Cube. See why I bought a lot of these. One more.
Alright, guys, power up.
No, let's use my one more to revive Yosuke. Yeah, the downside of Ice Cubes is they don't do any more damage if you debuff her defense. Where's the revival bead? Like, now is the time I really should be using Medea, but she's getting very, very close to being down. And she can't dodge in this state. Okay, 100 damage. Come on, Chie, take us home. It would be so fitting if you were the one to finish this. That went way better than I ever hoped it would. Okay, that was, like, I fully expected to fail that at least once. I feel a little bad because I think I'm a bit over-leveled, and I definitely am over-prepared for that because I saw that coming. If you're playing blind and you don't know, like, how to fuse the personas that you need for this fight is a complete pain, and, you can watch some, attempts of me doing this fight in the PS2 version, without SP, because I didn't know about Tap Soda then. On this channel, I can probably link a video in the description. You can see just how bad this fight can be. I kind of wonder if her, lacking Mind Charge in this version makes up for having, like, more than doubled HP. But anyway, that's that fight over. Now the aftermath.
Yukiko! Yukiko, are you hurt?
No, I'm not.
We understand. You're not the only one like that, Yukiko-san. Everyone has something they can't show to other people, or don't want to admit to themselves.
Yukiko, I'm sorry. I was so self-centered that I never understood what you were going through. I'm your friend, and I'm so sorry.
Chie.
I was always jealous of you, Yukiko. You had everything that I didn't. That jealousy was like a wall, and I was so lonely. I wanted you to need me, but it was me who needed you. I can't do anything right on my own. I've caused so much trouble for Yosuke and the others. If you weren't by my side, I wouldn't know what to do.
Chie. I never saw the real you either. I was too busy trying to find an easy way out. I want to run away. I want someone to save me. You're right. Those feelings are part of me too. I understand now. You're me.
Yukiko!
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm just a little tired. You all came to rescue me.
Of course!
Thank you.
Don't even mention it. I'm just so glad you're safe.
Right on.
So, who threw you in here?
Okay, before this scene takes a different turn, can I just say I love just that entire sequence right there. It's just, this is the point that sold a lot of people on Erin Fitzgerald as Chie. Like, many people didn't like her performance, but at this point, this was where a lot of people turned around, and I fully agree with that sentiment. But I just love the way Yukiko and Chie's friendship is handled throughout this whole arc. The two of them are nominally friends when you first meet them, but neither of them knew what the other was going through, and it takes until now for them to both open up to each other and to realize that their friendship actually wasn't that healthy at first, but only by overcoming the obstacles that both of them faced can they actually be genuine friends. It's just great. I really love this.
Huh? Who are you? Rather, what are you?
I'm Teddy. So who threw you in?
I don't know. I think someone called my name. But my memory's a blur. I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry, Teddy?
No new clues.
Not necessarily. Now we know for sure that someone threw Yukiko-san in here.
And sometimes the fact that someone doesn't remember something can itself be a clue. Whoever it was, they must have thrown them in without being noticed.
Then it really isn't you guys.
Really? It's taken you this long to realize it? We've been trying to save people.
No. Absolutely not.
You're one lying sack of honey.
Anyways, let's hurry back home. Yukiko looks exhausted. Thanks again, Teddy.
Wait, you're leaving me here?
Leaving you? What are you talking about? You live here.
Well, yeah, but...
I'm sorry, Teddy. I promise to come again. So be a good boy and wait here until then.
My, it's getting crowded here. Why don't you and I go somewhere else? Come on, pretty please.
Ah, you're giving me the creeps. That's it, you're stuck here for the rest of your life.
And thus, we've learned never to encourage Teddy.
Yukiko, are you alright? You're not hurt anywhere, are you?
No, I'm just a little tired. I'm sorry, but I don't remember anything.
Well, no worries. You're safe, and that's more than enough.
Yeah, maybe it's best to let her rest for now before we, interrogate her.
But there's no mistake that Yukiko-san was, attacked the same way as the last two victims. And I think the one we saw on the Midnight Channel wasn't the real Yukiko-san, but her shadow.
Well, you're listening to Teddy, that actually technically is the real Yukiko, but
Maybe
anyway.
the things Yukiko-san was suppressing in this world took form in the TV.
That seems to be how it works so far.
You know, Teddy was saying something like that.
It's no use. I'm just going round and round in circles. What kind of person could be doing this?
Okay, don't mash the X button here because this dialogue choice is important and it gives you stat points, and if you get it wrong, you have to redo the Shadow Yukiko fights. You have to say, let's call it a day here. To get an increase of, hey, there we go, basic to kindly.
Yeah, we can go over it some other day.
So that's earlier than the guide gets kindness up. That's Persona 5. Gets understanding up, I think, thanks to doing the music link instead of drama.
Yukiko really needs to get some rest. I'll take her home.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yukiko-san must be exhausted. We'll talk about all this some more once she gets her strength back.
For now, like I said, we have to wait for more interrogations. The further we go, the more questions we have. And there's the trophy for finishing Yukiko's castle.
He's home! Hello?
Hi there.
We got off work at the same time, so I'm giving him a ride back to his place. I thought we might as well swing by.
Nice to meet you. I'm Adachi, the guy who's been your dad's slave since spring.
So at first I was questioning why his name tag was still Young Detective, but from our perspective, like, we the player have heard his name before, but the protagonist hasn't yet, so that makes sense.
I can still work you harder, you know.
A good one, sir. Oh, I almost forgot. You're friends with Yukiko Amagi, right? They found her safe and sound. Tell all your friends at school.
Oh yeah, I already knew. I mean, that's a relief.
Yeah, for us on the force too.
We had nothing whatsoever to do with that.
But this doesn't mean the case is closed, though.
No, I mean, there was another attempted
We're
victim.
just questioning Miss Amagi. But she says she doesn't remember anything that happened while she was missing.
Wow, they must have got to her pretty quickly after we left.
And we can't figure out her whereabouts during the missing period either. It's like she really disappeared. It's all pretty fishy if you ask me. Like there's something else going on. Ow!
Stop blabbering, dumbass.
Sorry.
Well, it looks like we have a Detective Gumshoe here. I still love that line from Investigations 2 where he says, "I'm really good at leaking investigation reports to defense attorneys."
Ignore him. He's just spouting some wild fantasy.
Well, whatever you know, Yukiko is definitely not the culprit.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, don't mind him. He can be a real pain sometimes.
Yeah, rookies can be like that.
I'm hungry.
You're right. My stomach's growling too.
So you do have a softer side around Nanako-chan, sir.
Oh, right, I guess you've only ever seen him at work. That must be a big surprise seeing how he is around his daughter.
Shut up and sit down. And wash those hands first. I should do the same.
Yes, everybody please wash your hands all the time. So that cutscene actually happens whatever day you rescue Yukiko on. And you're prompted to save, thankfully, because that was a pretty tough boss, so let's take that opportunity.